Finally, they've given me a subreddit I'm qualified for. As if you've seen my streams, you know I'm a certified gamer. This is right up my alley. I'm perfect for this. Mom, can I get Starfield? Mom, we have Starfield at home. Starfield at home? Well, didn't No Man's Sky, like, is arguably better than Starfield right now? I've never played The Outer Worlds, so I can't give an opinion on that one. But No Man's Sky really redeemed itself. I would say it's better than Starfield right now, but I have seen the Starfield burger ship, so it is a contender. Mortal Kombat 1 PS5 versus Switch. That's just hardware capabilities, man, but wow, the PS5's looks incredible. I don't like the way Johnny Cage looks at me on the Switch version. PS5, fuck you. Switch, fuck me? No, I'm all right. Diablo 4 live event in Korea had little to no attendees. Oh, no, that's rough. If you're a wrestling fan, you know the current meme right now is that AEW has one side of the arena that's always empty. This is this is even worse. and the thing with AEW isn't even like necessarily true. This is real. This is real life. That's why the camera angle is just hitting the people behind the glass barricade. I bought this on launch, completed the main story, which was fun enough, and haven't touched it since. Nothing makes me want to continue playing it. I tried it I didn't even finish the main story. I got to like, I want to say level 30 on I don't even remember what class I was. I think I was a necromancer or something. But it just wasn't rewarding enough to continue. I completely agree. Nothing makes me want to continue playing it. I was able to finesse a little refund on that bad boy, but dude, it was not a $70 purchase I would ever make again. If you play too well, Madden will pause the game to let your opponent give up. Impressive performance. Good job absolutely dunking on your enemy so far. Seems like you're above the skill range we estimated you to be in. Are you on performance-enhancing gamer drugs? Just give your opponent a moment to consider an early concede. That's an ego boost. It makes me feel good about myself for that match, and then I get absolutely slaughtered in the next one. In less than a week, Starfield has more than 600 mods, 2.2 million mod downloads, and nearly 100 mods uploaded daily on Nexus Mods. That's actually insane. What do those mods look like? Do we have a picture of that? Oh, we do. The big Todd Howard. It just works, dude. It just works. Yeah, but what are the numbers once you remove all the NSFW mods? Probably 10 max. All my mods have ball physics and shaft jiggle physics, so yeah, once you remove those, there's nothing. There's nothing left. Is Starfield out yet? Yes, just pay $32 to play early. Fuck off. I don't know who these characters are. I'm not a very seasoned gamer. I don't play a lot of like the games you like I'm like listen, man. I grew up with Nintendo and then I moved right into Valve games. All right. That was my path. Was Nintendo to Valve. So I don't recognize these guys. I think this is The Witcher, but I don't know. One of them should have changed their name. Still confuses me to this day. Well, they got the Outer Wilds or the Outer Worlds. One's wild, one's world. It's a very easy distinction. Also, Outer Wilds rocks. So, I mean, there's that as well. There's that to think about, you know? Nintendo's biggest flop ever. The Wii, it only did 13 million. Is that units total or sale, like profit? If that's 13 million, I gotta look this up. How many units did the Wii U sell? Oh, only no, dude. That's insane. That's units. 13 million units were sold of the Wii U compared to 102 million Wiis. I'm impressed that they took what they learned from the Wii U and then made the Switch though. I think that's very good. That's a success story to take away from that. Shows that even when you fail, there's something to learn from it. Back in my day, you either got the job or didn't. Burnout, handbrake. I don't understand. Is this like all the things you gotta do? That is a grocery list of achievements or tasks. Holy shit, is that Driver? The one and only Dark Souls for PS1. It's the Dark Souls of driving games. Can I emulate this? Sorry, am I not supposed to, can I legally buy this and then emulate, emulate this? I might stream this game. This looks ridiculous. I might stream Driver. This looks like a horrible experience and I'm down for it. I'm for it, I'm in it. That first mission was near impossible as a kid. Damn, didn't know how many, so many people had nightmares of this even as an adult. Literally don't think I've seen anything beyond this parking garage. Wait, that's just the training mission? Oh, dude, I gotta try it. I gotta get my hands on it now. So my brother-in-law runs the control room at Citi Field. This is how they pass the time during a rain delay. Yes! Who's winning? It's a 4-player race. And the crowd's going even crazier for the Mario Kart than they are for the actual game. Guarantee it. Payday 3's launch has gone so badly that Starbreeze says it's now looking at the possibility of some sort of offline mode. That should have been there to start with, though. There should have already been an offline mode. And I didn't play too much of Payday 2, but I liked what I did play. I haven't bought Payday 3 because of how bad this launch has been, just looking on Twitter and seeing what people are saying. If they're not adding an offline mode yet, I'm not buying this game. with all of the things that go wrong with it, man. No way. I feel like offline mode should be standard for a lot of games. There's no honestly, all games, probably. You know what I'm saying? I think there's an exception for games that are exclusively like massively multiplayer, but if something like Payday should have a, you know, standard is offline mode. Hideo Kojima announces that Death Stranding is coming to iPhone. I heard about this. This is really, really, really weird to me, and I don't know quite where to place it. I don't want to bake my phone until it's fork tender just to just to play a Hideo Kojima game. And I love Kojima, but it's just not worth it to me. You know what I mean? Just burn my hands on the back of my phone, but I'm playing, I'm gaming on my iPhone. Gathered my friends for this, The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings cosplay. I'm not familiar with the Witcher franchise, but those are some darn good cosplays. I like this smug dude leaning up against the wall. That guy, I appreciate his swagger. I like that guy quite a bit. Studio behind Slay the Spire announced they will change course on a 2+ year game project and completely migrate away from using the Unity engine after Unity's price changes. Oh, I didn't think I would ever get to talk about this somewhere. Okay, this is the craziest thing, the craziest series of events I have ever seen in my entire life. There's plenty of really, really good videos that talk about everything that happened with Unity. I think Upper Echelon Gamers and Critical did some really good pieces on it. But the TLDR was they were proposing a change that after 200K downloads or $200,000 in sales, developers would owe Unity 20 cents per install of a game. And that per install would supposedly count pirated copies, downloading, uninstalling, re-downloading, or if you downloaded it on multiple consoles. I believe there was also something about it being that it would be in effect retroactively, but it's just a bunch of back and forth. This was crazy discourse to see online, and every developer that I follow on Twitter was just, hey, we don't like Unity no more. They were Andy saying, I don't want to play with you anymore, and dropping Unity into the trash can. And now the CEO of Unity is retired, right? He stepped down, and I don't think the people who took his place are much better. I think the Iron Source guys are probably going to be next in line. Very, very concerning. I kind of just went on a whole tangent and didn't even read the post, but I think just in bold at the bottom there, it reflects a lot of the developers' mindsets. We have never made a public statement before. This is how badly you f***ed up. So very true. So very completely true. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but these are actual PS2 graphics. Oh my God, PlayStation 2 WCW 2000. Oh, Goldberg looks like he was ripped right from the ring, dude. What's up with the scientists in the top right corner? What are they examining there? Are they doing studies on a PS2? In the year 2000, my parents didn't want me to play Tenchu 2 because the blood and gore is so realistic. It looks just like a real crime scene. That's what Batman saw when his parents were murdered. Do you want that to be you, man? I don't think so. What's the pettiest reason you disliked a game? Like the title says, I'm curious about seemingly petty things that ruin games for you. I'm personally interested because I, for instance, can be very picky about the artistic style of the game. That's why I can't get into Pathfinder, for example. I just like a more realistic look. What about you? I bought into the early access of a game that billed itself as a semi-open world zombie shooter with base building mechanics and a deep crafting system. It later decided to pivot into something completely different, and I've yet to touch it since, as I feel they took my money and instead of fixing the issues people had with it, just made a different game instead. The little known game was called Fortnite. Dude, I liked their Save the World mode as well. You can still play it, but it's just, it doesn't get any love or attention, man. It's just not the same. I wish they gave it some more work. I remember seeing concept art and it being like, honestly, pretty scary looking. It looked dope. Apex Legends. Because of its success, we won't get Titanfall 3. I will never forgive, nor will I ever forget. I hated the voice actor's voice and there was no way to change it. I sincerely wish the characters in Forspoken would stop Forspeaking. Never played Forspoken. Is that the game people were dunking on for its writing? Yep. Yeah, I recognize this cover. That was the game people were dunking on for the Marvel movie writing. Is this an ATLA reference? My cabbages, my beautiful cabbages. Seems like it. Seems like it to me. Only one cabbage salesman I recognize. Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 arrives on September 21st, 2023. That's 5 days ahead of Phantom Liberty. Enough time to replay the main story if you intend to restart from scratch. And I still haven't tried Cyberpunk. What does this update include? Redesigned skill trees and perks, revamped cyberware, okay. Vehicle combat and car chases, dope. New police system, okay. So they just completely overhauled the game. You love to see it. The current two games on my radar, one I've been playing so much is Core Keeper. And then I still haven't finished the demo of RoboCop Rogue City. I think both of those games are super dope. Oh, and Dead on Arrival. I wish listed that game. That looks super fun too. The modern review scale. Let's first take it back to the 80s, 90s, and early aughts, huh? 1 to 3 was either your shit sucked or was mediocre. 4, 5, 6, it was average. 6 to 7 was a good game, but once you got to 7, that's really good. 8 is great. In fact, 8, 9, and 10 are a possible game of the year, with 10 being incredible. However, the modern review scale, 1 through 7, sucks. 8 is average, 9 is good. Then, you know, you got 9.5, 9.7, really, really good games. Only at 10.1. Is it a possible game of the year? When you let game directors make the games they want to make, they will more than often, what was that word salad that just came out of my mouth? They will more often than not end up amazing. Baldur's Gate 3 and Souls are prime examples of this. Or, you know, if I saw something over there, I'd want to actually be able to go over and explore it, and I want to fight with a dragon in an epic arena. Things like this. It's very simple stuff, but Elden Ring allows a lot of these things to become a reality for me, creating something that's very close to my ideal game. And I think that's true. I think if you give game directors the reins to be able to create their vision, you're gonna get really, really cool stuff. Trust the creatives to create, you know what I mean? Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and Unreal Engine 5. I don't know what to think of this. Cool engine, but I don't care about this. I don't I don't understand what I'm looking at. Half-Life 2 RTX announced by NVIDIA. Wow, that's crazy. But they just, does that even count as an RTX to me? This feels like they just rebuilt the game from the ground up, not that the shading looks better, you know what I mean? Feels a little dishonest, but very cool nonetheless, you know? In a rush this morning, were we? Yeah, sorry, I was late for my shift being the Riften Guard, you know? Just I had to put on what I had there and got going. Skyrim. Tons of mods and only 90% are horny. The rest are extremely horny. Don't even ask about the Macho Man Randy Savage Dragon mod. That is excruciatingly horny. When you find and equip a lab coat while playing a charisma build, they asked me how well I understood theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics. These said welcome aboard. Nice. There is nothing more weird than remembering the two vastly different things were made by the same company. Nintendo did these two. Sega did these two. I don't know what I'm looking at in the second one for Sega, but that is Super dope and frightening. Namco made both of these, Capcom made both of these, and EA made both. It takes two, but you gotta pay $4.99 to see what the punchline is. Random guy invades the Gamescom stage to ask about GTA 6. Oh, dude. I feel so bad. Jeff Keighley has the patience of an absolute saint. Ever since the Bill Clinton kid, people have just stormed the stage wherever Jeff Keighley is present. God, man. I'm pretty sure in that moment too, didn't that kid who in this photo also said something about Bill Clinton? He was like, Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6. And Jeff Keighley just, you can see it in his face there that he wants to just turn that guy into dust. Jeff needs better security. Jeff is the security. He's gotta start snapping. I'm enjoying Starfield, but it has one of the worst maps I've ever seen. This is the city map. What am I looking at? What is this? It's like a LiDAR map. Painting. I read a lot of fantasy novels. Video games. Oh, I didn't notice the "so what's your hobby" at the top. Well, now we know. Hey, nice. What do you play? Play? No. Collect. Threw out our 13-year-old sofa. Found this under the cushions. Oh, a little video game. And it looks like it's pristine, man. You can still use it. Microsoft is looking to acquire Nintendo at some point. Mario Maker's future exists off of its HW. This is the crunchiest photo I think I've ever seen. I don't know quite what I'm looking at or why it relates to that. I think this is just whatever the thumbnail image was for the Reddit post. Considering how difficult it was for Microsoft to acquire Activision, I don't see a way for any regulator to approve any such deal. Not unless something catastrophic happens to Nintendo of Sega proportions. I don't see the Japanese government allowing it anyway. I don't think they'd be willing to give up Nintendo. I don't think anything like that would happen. Starfield is not a space simulator. It's Fallout in space. So don't go in expecting something like Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, or No Man's Sky. If you want to have that feeling of exploring the galaxy, uncovering hidden marvels across the stars, go play those games instead. This game is a more polished Fallout 4 set in space. That's it. If you enjoy Fallout and Elder Scrolls, then you'll likely enjoy Starfield, but if you don't, I wouldn't even bother. I think that's a fair description. It's a Bethesda RPG that just happens to be set in space. I think that's a fair description. That might, that should be its tagline. A guy with 19 YouTube subs executed perhaps the greatest GTA speedrun in history 6 weeks ago, and no one noticed. 6 minutes, 57 seconds. Is that his total time? Dang. There's no way you can finish that game in 6 minutes? Or is it 40? I'm confused at what I'm looking at there. I wonder how many other unknown accomplishments there are, especially in the old days. Recently, someone posted a VHS recording of a Waiver Race 64 speed record. That confused me to look at for a second. Oh my God, it's Wave Race. I said Wave Race. Dear Lord. I thought I got it right and it still confused me. A Wave Race 64 speed record they had unintentionally for 18 years. Basically, about 20 of the top records were one slot higher than they should have been. That's so dope to know you had a record that just to learn one day that you were holding a world record. That's so dope. Cleaning up my room and found this. The hype was real at the time. Ultimately was disappointed. Oh, let's go Spore! And a Roku remote. That's the best part. Starfield's pronoun removal mod has been banned by Nexus Mods. There was a pronoun removal mod? That's so stupid. Oh, that's so dumb. Like, I don't know why there's a need to make it's not even like I remember seeing the clip where it was like, you got a current day, so we're gonna current day. No, everything has pronouns, dummy. Stairfield. Endless, soulless Stairfield. Starfield's stealth mechanic feels kinda different. There's been like 30 Starfield posts. Stealth in Skyrim. I guess it was just my imagination. Stealth in Starfield. I've got his position! This far into the future and we're still using spreadsheets. Yeah, it's important. Is this also Starfield? Great. Studio behind EA's magical FPS game lays off half its staff after low sales. A lot of games have been a lot of staff has been laid off in a lot of games and a lot of game companies. This is not the first thing I've seen of that. I hope they all land on their feet, man. It sucks. Should have fired the marketing team. Never heard of it. I had to read the article to learn its name, Immortals of Avium. They didn't even bother putting it in the title. Starfield lets you put a suppressor on a minigun. That makes sense, silent minigun. My Princess Zelda Tears of the Kingdom cosplay. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but again, a darn good cosplay. I love the intricacy, the details, the braiding of the, I'm assuming that's a wig to get the braiding to stay in place and look, you know, solid. It's awesome. Good work. My 7-year-old says he's the best at video games. We'll see about that. Go ahead and try the Jungle Book, Aladdin, and Lion King video games. Take your swing at him, guy. Come on. This is FromSoft. We make games for people who like big weapons and big challenges. This is Larian. We make games for people who like to roleplay and roll dice. This is Blizzard. They make models for animations, and they're really good at it. I miss when Call of Duty made you feel like you were in a war and not fighting drug cartels like the recent games. No, it's all about movement. It's all about movement in Call of Duty. It's a movement game. Todd Howard asked on Bloomberg why they didn't optimize the game for PC. We did. You may need to upgrade your PC because honestly, the game, it just works. He really said, well, it works on my machine. My favorite example of this is when the director of that infamously dark Game of Thrones episode said it. It looked great on my high-end professional screens, therefore it's fine. No, make sure you go down a couple, like, degrees in how good the software or hardware is, see if it works on that too. Gotta do a quality check. Starfield 2023 has almost the same space travel mechanics as Star Wars KOTOR 2003 did. KOTOR? I don't know. There's gonna be someone who really likes Star Wars in the comments going, actually, it's pronounced this, Damien. How dare you? You know, I don't really, with the context that it's just a Bethesda RPG in space, I don't really care about the travel system. The Outer Worlds does the same thing, so does MechWarrior, so does Mass Effect. It's not really a bad system, to be honest. Oh, well then there you go, it's just a common system. I think this whole loading screen debacle is hilarious. Little do many people know that you can take photos in photo mode, and they show up as the loading screen. It has me cracking up every time. It's the first photo mode I'm actually actively using. That's pretty dope. I like the idea of your photos you take in photo mode being your loading screen like your loading screen splash images. It's dope. I don't know if I used splash image correctly. I apologize. I don't apologize. Starfield delivers the true Bethesda experience. He ain't got no torso, but he's there nonetheless.